Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for I have a Bjorn's Mighty Thoughts video, I'm going to be talking about some video game news, and the news pertains to Ion Fury, as apparently there is a sequel to Ion Fury, but it's a prequel to Bombshell that's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox X Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC Steam, titled Phantom Fury. So we're getting another Shelly Bombshell Harrison game, and I'm probably just gonna from now on just call her Bombshell or Shelly. But that being said, it's supposed to, like I said, it's supposed to be set after Ion Fury, and it's supposed to be set before Bombshell. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut up, I'm going to let the trailer roll, and then I'll back the trailer up and I'll give you my thoughts and reaction to the trailer itself.
Is already pulling their map.
Absolutely not. They can do this. Harrison can do this.
Cut it out, will you?
Come on, you're not afraid of a tattoo, are you?
Shit. Actually, breathe. You can do this. 1, 2, 3.
This is what Phoenix has been working on. Decades of research, billions of dollars. I know you must have a lot of questions, but those will have to wait.
Think that arm makes you look cool or something?
All right, let's get the volume turned down and get the trailer rolling again. Now, I do want to point out here that this does make sense. They're stating it's a sequel. It seems like to me, and it looks like to me with the opening monologue here for the trailer, is that this is after she gets her cybernetic arm, like right after she gets her cybernetic arm. And for those of you who remember or maybe don't know, whatever, Ion Fury, she did not have a cybernetic arm. But in Bombshell, she does. Just pointing that out as a thing. Okay, so 3D Realms is the publisher again. Now, Slipgate Ironworks, this is I really don't know what Slipgate Ironworks is attached to, and I'm not really going to talk shit about them, but I do want to point out that 3D Realms once again is the publisher. They've been the publisher for all 3 games now, so at least we've kept the publisher. However, all 3 games have had different developers. Now, Bombshell I felt very mediocre about, and I've stated that in my review, and honestly, I barely remember the game, and I probably played it about a year ago, and it just didn't really thrill me. Now, Ion Fury was done by another developer, and that was really good in my opinion, which that was done in the build engine where Bombshell was done as an isometric 3D shooter. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know anything about Slipgate, so I can't really say too much about it. It's just kind of like one of those things of it's a little disappointing to see another developer being attached to a Bombshell project, especially after they had a really successful game. Okay, so we get a first look at the graphics here and what the character is going to look like. And I mean, essentially, they're keeping the retro feel. I'll give them credit for that. The graphics kind of looks like the 3D shooters that you'd have around the early 2000s. Kind of like, oh boy, can't suddenly remember the game. Soldier of Fortune Gold, probably a bit better than, actually, honestly, definitely better than Soldier of Fortune Gold. But I'm just using that as an example of the shooters, first-person shooters from that time frame. Now this here is, I'm kind of mixed about because this does not look very detailed. Now that being said, we still have several months, maybe a year before we see this game. But yeah, I kind of feel like this could have been looking a little better than it does. It just feels really empty or something. I just don't know how. I can't place my finger on it, but it looks not done, to be honest.
This is what Phoenix has been working on. Decades of research.
And there we go. We got a very good look at the cybernetic arm here, and he talks a little bit about it. So that's pretty cool. We also get a look of, I'm guessing this is probably going to be like an opening stage or a very early stage in the game.
Billions of dollars.
Okay, so it does show, they do show us some scenery set pieces, and honestly, they look actually fairly decent. I mean, for, per se, early 2000s graphics. Now, I do have to admit there, let me see if I can't back this up a little bit, but the open world set piece here, this honestly looks good to me. This looks better than the city. Yes, it looks like retro graphics, but yeah, it looks a lot better than the city part did. Not sure why. Could be the color palette, the lighting, whatever. It just looks good to me. Especially like this here. This looks really good to me. Be a nice open world. They do indicate that there was going to be some exploration levels. So that's kind of cool. I'm guessing this is probably going to be one of those levels where it's just a big area to search around, gather ammo, stuff of that nature, and kind of see the scenery of the game that the developers created. Once again, we get another pretty good look at the arm. Looks pretty decent, actually. Once again, early 2000s level graphics.
Questions. But those will have to wait.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to get a submarine scuba type level. And yeah, I mean, once again, this doesn't look bad. I like the lighting. I like the look of it. I kind of hope they make the radar part look a little bit better, a little bit more smoother. But the scenery itself, the seaweed, the lighting, I think that all looks good for the graphics level they're shooting for. That more retro boomer shooter graphics. Okay, so we got a jet fighter here, it looks like. Or maybe it's a helicopter, not 100% sure. That Shelly is flying anyway. Might be an attack chopper. You know, this part I'm actually not thrilled about. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it looks great. But I'm not a fan of canyon runs. Expressed that when I did my Ace Combat 7 review. And, well, this is probably going to be a rail shooter stage is my guess. And honestly, let's be honest. Rail shooter stages sucks. Unless they're made really short and really intense and entertaining. Most of the time, they suck. Okay, so we got the submachine guns again, and we're going to see a lot of different weapons that was in Ion Fury, as well as some new ones. Got some driving here. Now we got Loverboy here, and I do want to point this out, and this is another part I hope that's actually improved on. So honestly, overall, I feel like it just needs improved. The bullets needs a bit more work and a little bit more polish. There's no revolver gear. Like, revolvers don't work without that gear at the rear of the cylinder. Maybe I'm just too much of a gun nut to notice. I noticed it almost instantly, even though it was just a split-second preview of it. I noticed it right away. I definitely hope that is improved. Now, so far, sounds-wise, I can't complain. I think the sounds are fairly good. There we go. We got the minigun again. Looks like we're going to have another train stage. Can't have a first-person shooter without a train stage. Oh, I bet you that means we're going to have a sewer level, too. Oh, boy. Okay, so here's a familiar boss battle that you had in Ion Fury. It looks very reminiscent to... I don't know if it was a drone or just a mech. I think it might have been a mech that was in Ion Fury. But for anyone who played Ion Fury, this thing will definitely seem familiar. Okay, so they just indicated some sliding there. I don't know if the intent is going to be going for a high mobility shooter like Doom. I don't think so, watching most of this trailer. But I do think they're going to be kind of shooting for a happy medium ground of the two, where it's going to be more like a traditional shooter, but have some of the aspects of a high mobility shooter. Got a force field there. So the arm is going to do special stuff, and it can be used as a weapon. We've already seen that as well. And this part's cool. They do show some interaction with various things. So, I mean, once again, we got more interactions with like mini games and stuff like that in the game. That doesn't really surprise me if they want to keep with that build engine feel, even though they didn't use build engine. But that was kind of like one of those things that was like a hallmark to the build engine when build engine came out. And there was a lot of stuff you could interact with in Ion Fury. And it's nice to see that they're keeping that aspect. So this character here, I can't place my finger on it. If anybody knows who is this character, please comment down below. Because this character looks really familiar to me. Just can't place my finger on it.
Makes him look cool or something?
And then this part here is kind of like an eh. I was reading and it said about there's going to be 20 different weapons in the game. And when I heard that, it's kind of like, well, we got a pistol and an assault rifle. Do we really need them? I mean, the assault rifle I could see being more useful, but do we need two pistols? We already have Loverboy, and then we have this as well. I mean, if it's more powerful than Loverboy, okay, but also with having shotguns. And I do remember with Ion Fury, it was sometimes it'd be hair pulling to try and get ammunition. So if they're going to have 20 different weapons in the game, do we really need some of these weapons? All right, so that pretty much wraps up the trailer for that. Now, there is some additional information I'm going to go over here really quick and some additional thoughts. One thing is, it is being made with the Unreal 4 engine. It has been announced that it's going to have an upgrade system. Now, it sounds like for the really short soundbite that you actually hear Shelley's voice, it does sound like Valerie Arnhem, who has always been the actor for Bombshell. The only thing that they really didn't indicate is who is the antagonist going to be, and if they bring back Dr. Haskell, which has been the antagonist for Bombshell as well as Ion Fury, will it be John St. John? There's been no indication of that. Now, that being said, I think it's cool that there's a new game coming for the Bombshell series, but dude, I'm still here waiting for Ion Fury Aftershock. When are we going to get that DLC? That was announced like a year ago. Bro, what the hell? Anyway, folks, that is my feelings, thoughts, opinions, whatever you want to call it for for Phantom Fury. I almost said Ion Fury. For Phantom Fury. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have yourself a wonderful day.